The world's truly legendary empires do not fall solely from the impact of outside invasions. They build incredible internal vulnerabilities that allow a single close confidant to shatter everything. When we think of elite historical turning points, we imagine vast armies clashing on open battlefields. But true, absolute historical destruction belongs to the masterminds of history's most devastating inner betrayals. These clever and cold-blooded individuals manipulated absolute trust to stab their closest allies in the back. Today we are counting down 10 of history's absolute greatest and most shocking betrayals ever recorded. We will look closely at exactly how secret plots outmaneuvered entire legions and altered human destiny. Before we dive in, please like and subscribe to Stickman Chronicles right now. Hitting that big subscribe button helps us bring you more high-quality history videos. Do not forget to turn on the notification bell for your daily history fix. Let's start our global countdown with number 10, which takes us to ancient Europe. Number 10 is the legendary betrayal of the fierce Germanic chieftain known to history as Arminius. The brilliant young warrior was raised in Rome as a noble hostage and trained in advanced military tactics. He won the absolute trust of the Roman general Publius Quinctilius Varus, who viewed him as a loyal son. Instead of serving the empire, Arminius secretly organized a massive alliance of rival Germanic tribes to rebel. He cleverly convinced Varus to march 3 entire elite legions deep into the unfamiliar Teutoburg forest. Arminius then vanished from the Roman column and led a massive surprise ambush against his former mentor. The resulting multi-day slaughter completely wiped out over 20,000 disciplined Roman soldiers in the mud. Varus took his own life in absolute despair, realizing his trusted advisor had orchestrated his total ruin. It remains an undying global symbol of how inside access can utterly dismantle a massive global superpower. Next up at number 9 is the breathtakingly calculated betrayal of the famous samurai general Akechi Mitsuhide. The volatile situation erupted during the chaotic Sengoku period of total civil war across ancient Japan. Mitsuhide was a highly trusted commander serving under the powerful and ruthless warlord Oda Nobunaga. Nobunaga was right on the verge of completely uniting the entire fractured nation under his military banner. He stopped to rest at the Honnoji Temple in Kyoto with only a tiny personal bodyguard unit intact. Mitsuhide saw his perfect tactical opportunity, turned his massive army around, and surrounded the holy temple. He ordered his soldiers to set the entire wooden structure ablaze, trapping his master inside the flames. Nobunaga was forced to commit ritual seppuku inside the burning building, realizing his top general had turned. The sudden shock of this midnight coup completely altered the balance of power across the entire Japanese landscape. Number 8 takes us to the American Revolutionary War with the infamous betrayal of General Benedict Arnold. The highly decorated American military officer had fought bravely in multiple critical battles against British forces. However, he felt completely insulted by Congress, who passed him over for well-deserved promotions and recognition. Arnold used his high military standing to secure command of the vital fortress outpost at West Point. He then entered into top-secret negotiations with a British spy chief named Major John Andre. Arnold agreed to surrender the strategic fort to the enemy in exchange for a massive fortune and rank. The entire plot fell apart completely when American militia forces captured Andre carrying the secret blueprints. Arnold escaped onto a British warship just in time, leaving his reputation to become a national synonym for traitor. It proved that a single bruised ego combined with absolute greed can jeopardize the birth of a brand new nation. Number 7, we look at the breathtaking and highly destructive betrayal of the Inca Emperor Atahualpa by his brother. The massive Inca Empire was facing internal structural collapse, just as Spanish conquistadors arrived on the coast. The ruling family fractured into a brutal civil war as Atahualpa fought his brother Huáscar for the throne. Huáscar's generals secretly cooperated with the foreign invaders, providing them with vital operational logistics. They exposed the empire's internal mountain routes and political rivalries to Francisco Pizarro's small force. This deep family betrayal allowed the Spanish to easily ambush and capture Atahualpa at the city of Cajamarca. The conquistadors extorted a massive room filled with solid gold before executing the emperor anyway. The initial betrayal by fellow royals left the entire mountain civilization completely defenseless against colonization. This legendary disaster remains the ultimate historical masterclass in how internal division invites total destruction. Number 6 takes us to the classic medieval fields of Europe with the betrayal of the legendary hero William Wallace. The fierce Scottish guardian had led a successful guerrilla war against the oppressive forces of King Edward I. He became a highly wanted man with a massive bounty placed on his head by the English crown. A Scottish nobleman named Sir John de Menteith chose to prioritize foreign gold over national loyalty. Menteith invited Wallace to a private dinner at a secure house near Glasgow under the guise of friendship. In the middle of the meal, Menteith's hidden soldiers rushed the room and captured Wallace in his sleep. The hero was carried off to London in chains, where he was publicly executed with absolute cruelty. The citizens of Scotland felt completely humiliated that one of their own lords had sold out their defender. This bizarre historical turn proves that personal financial gain can cause nobles to trade their history for silver. We have reached the middle position for today, countdown of history's most shocking and pivotal betrayals. Before we reveal the top 5, please like this video and subscribe to Stickman Chronicles. Your daily support helps us spend more time researching these incredible historical survival stories. Leave a comment right below about which historic traitor has shocked you the most so far on our list. Now let us jump straight to number 5 on our list of unbelievable and chaotic historical conspiracies. Number 5 is the tragic and completely unexpected betrayal of the elite Aztec Emperor Moctezuma by his own people. The massive Spanish invasion force under Hernán Cortés was trapped inside the capital city of Tenochtitlan. The local Aztec warriors had completely surrounded the palace, cut off food lines, and demanded immediate war. Cortés forced the captured Moctezuma to step onto the palace balcony to order his citizens to stop fighting. The emperor pleaded for peace, but the enraged populace felt their ruler had completely surrendered to the enemy. The angry crowd began hurling heavy stones and sharp arrows directly at their own emperor on the balcony. Moctezuma was struck in the head by a massive rock thrown from the plaza and died of his wounds days later. The ultimate betrayal by his own subjects signaled the complete breakdown of traditional imperial authority inside the city. The internal chaos allowed the Spanish to regroup and eventually level the entire magnificent civilization completely. Moving to number 4, we look at the ridiculous geopolitical escalation historically known as the betrayal of the Fourth Crusade. The massive Christian Crusader army assembled in Venice with the goal of sailing to reclaim Jerusalem. They ran completely out of money to pay the Venetian merchants for their massive custom transport ships. An exiled Byzantine prince approached the Crusaders, promising them a massive fortune if they helped him seize power. The Crusaders changed their entire route, sailed straight to the Christian capital of Constantinople, and attacked it. They placed the prince on the throne, but the imperial treasury was completely empty, and he could not pay them. Enraged by the broken promise, the Crusaders turned on the city, launching a massive, full-scale sack of the capital. They burned down ancient libraries, looted holy churches, and massacred thousands of fellow Christian citizens. This ultimate betrayal permanently broke the power of the Byzantine Empire and shocked the entire medieval world. Number 3 takes us to the ancient classical fields of Greece with the self-destructive betrayal of Ephialtes. The legendary King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans were holding the narrow mountain pass of Thermopylae. They had successfully repelled waves of elite Persian soldiers for days, causing absolute frustration for Xerxes. A local Greek citizen named Ephialtes walked directly into the Persian camp motivated by promises of wealth. He revealed the existence of a secret mountain path that allowed the enemy to bypass the Spartan lines entirely. The Persian cavalry utilized the trail in total darkness to circle completely around behind the Greek defenders. Leonidas and his men were caught in a hopeless double envelopment and slaughtered down to the last man. The name Ephialtes became permanently branded in the Greek language as the absolute literal definition of a nightmare. The entire defense collapsed because a single local tracker decided to trade a tactical secret for temporary gold. At number 2, we look at the highly sophisticated political conspiracy against the Roman general Julius Caesar. The absolute dictator had climbed to the peak of global power after winning a massive civil war campaign. He filled the Roman Senate with his close friends, including a brilliant young senator named Marcus Junius Brutus. Caesar treated Brutus with immense affection, protecting his career and viewing him as a trusted family member. A group of conservative senators convinced Brutus that Caesar's absolute rule was destroying the democratic republic. On the Ides of March, the conspirators surrounded Caesar inside the Senate House, pulling out hidden daggers. Caesar fought back fiercely until he saw Brutus step forward with a raised weapon in his hand. Realizing his favorite companion had joined the plot, Caesar stopped resisting and wrapped his face in his toga. He suffered 23 stab wounds, falling directly at the base of the statue of his old rival Pompey. Finally, we reach number 1 on our list, which takes us to the foundation of the massive Mongol Empire. Number 1 is the legendary and deeply personal betrayal of Jamukha against his blood brother Temujin. The two young warriors had grown up together on the frozen steppes, swearing an eternal oath of brotherhood called an anda. They shared their food, weapons, and horses, fighting side by side to protect their small nomadic camps from rivals. As they grew older, their strategic visions for uniting the fractured Mongol tribes began to diverge completely. Jamukha chose to align himself with the old traditional aristocrats who wanted to keep the old tribal hierarchies. Temujin wanted to build a brand new system promoting soldiers based entirely on direct battlefield talent and loyalty. Jamukha turned his forces against his blood brother, launching a brutal war that lasted for multiple successive years. He even boiled captured soldiers alive in massive cauldrons just to break Temujin's psychological morale. Temujin outmaneuvered his childhood friend completely through pure tactical endurance and won the civil war. Jamukha was eventually captured by his own men and handed over to the great leader, now known as Genghis Khan. These gripping narratives prove that human resourcefulness can shatter the strongest chains on Earth completely. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to Stickman Chronicles right now. See you tomorrow as we upload high-quality history videos every single day without fail.